The other day, coming back on the train from Tomorrowland, I spoke to somebody, just a member of the general public, and I told them that I was moving to Dubai in September. And a very strange thing happened. Their reaction to that news was so instinctive. I was quite taken aback by their reaction. It was like, wow, whoa, I could never live there. And I was like, okay, how come? You know, we were engaged in some conversation together. We were talking about just life in general. So it was a natural conversation to ask for each other questions, you know. So I asked them, you know, how come? Why would you not want to live in Dubai? And their response was, well, I don't like the culture. I couldn't get on with the culture. And my first reaction, or my first thoughts to that were, what culture do you not like? Like, what culture are you missing from the UK that you would prefer to stay in the UK over Dubai or over the UAE? Because looking at the UK right now, I'm trying to see this culture that person is valuing. Because what's happened in the last week has been absolutely shocking here in the UK. We've had 3 beautiful young children murdered for absolutely for nothing, for the sake of I don't even know how to explain. I don't really want to go into it. It was quite upsetting, to be honest, as I'm sure everybody else agrees. And that's not just the only thing that's going wrong with the UK right now. There's, to put it up in general, to sum up all the things that is happening, the UK is basically on its arse. And a lot of people have been speaking about this, you know, and a lot of people have been saying it, but it really does seem very clear to me that it is in a very, very bad position right now. And I feel ashamed to say that, because obviously I am from the UK. I'm English, you know, I'm 50% Italian, 50% English. So I am tied to this country, and I do believe in this country. I love this country. But the state of the country right now is just absolutely embarrassing. And it's just sad to see. And I look back at what this woman said, you know, about the culture of it, and I wanted to compare it to Dubai, and it got me thinking about the reasons why I'm moving to Dubai. Well, number one, if we look at what the state of the UK is right now, the tax is astronomical. Once you actually take home the money, your take-home money, after all the hard work that you've put in, even as a business owner, is absolutely diabolical. We effectively work 50 to 60% of our week just to give it to the government, on top of all the other taxes that we pay, and it's just constant tax. You can't even die in this world without being taxed. Just think about that. You cannot even die in this country without them taking away something from you. Like, how crazy is that? How crazy is that you can't even die without being taxed? So it's just got to the point where you look at how much money you're making, you look at how much work you're putting in, and you look at how much money you're spending on tax. And don't get me wrong, tax is necessary if it's actually spent correctly. The problem with this country is that you're paying so much tax and you're getting absolutely nothing for that value. Absolutely nothing for the money that you're spending. The infrastructure is basically on its arse. You pay more to get a train from Derby city centre, from Derby in the Midlands, an hour and a half into central London. It costs up to £100 to £200 sometimes on just a standard ticket. The cheapest I think I've ever got the train from Derby to London is about £50. That's 50 Great British pounds to go on a train to London. You can fly to another European city for less sometimes. Usually the train is over £100. So let that sink into your head. We're paying ridiculous insurance costs on everything. Insurance is just a huge scam in this country, okay? They do everything to not pay out. And then when you actually go to pay the premiums, they just go up and up and up and up every year, okay? We're paying road tax. The roads are absolutely dog shit. There's potholes everywhere. The roads don't work. We've got these smart motorways, which are the dumbest things I've ever experienced on a road. In all these different ways, our money is being wasted. We've got money given to foreign countries for aid and all these things when we can't even support ourselves. Where does the logic come in supporting other countries? I heard on the news 80 million was given to South Africa and another African country to help them in their education systems and to help their economy, etc. Why are we giving other countries money, our tax money, when we can't even afford to help our own people out there on the streets, when we can't even afford to give schools a higher budget so that children can actually have some supplies in their classrooms? If you've ever spoken to a teacher, the budgets that they have to run their classes on is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's not possible. And you wonder why no one is in a good mood anymore. So there's millions and millions of different problems, and it all comes down to, my opinion, is inefficiency and incompetence by the people who are at the government and local leaders, especially in the councils. Anything that is run by the government and local councils right now is absolutely the most inefficient, ridiculously operated system I've ever seen. Nothing works, okay? We've got too much woke agenda going on, too much worrying about things we shouldn't even be worrying about. Like, when did it become something we have to ask somebody about whether a man can get pregnant? Like, when did that happen? When has this become a thing? Where we have women fighting men in the Olympics. When is this, like, at what point do we just say, fuck it? And we're just going to let everything just go to shit and worry about things that have got absolutely no meaning. And we cater to these people who have got this voice on the internet like they're important. These people 30, 40 years ago were people that were bullied left aside. If you think like that, you sound so stupid. Don't even contribute to society. But now all of a sudden, we've got this agenda to listen to these people who are absolutely clinically insane. And now you can't say anything. Everybody's a racist nowadays. I can guarantee you that I've experienced more racism as a white person in the last few years than any other person in race. You can't even speak about the situations that go on now. As a white person, you have to be so careful about what you even think or even do nowadays before you're getting called racist. When everybody knows what everybody's thinking. Every other race in this country is thinking the same things. There's more racism towards white people nowadays than there is anything else right now. And everybody's so scared to say it. Why? Why? It shouldn't be like this. Anyway, we're paying all these taxes. We're doing all these things. Public services are fucked. We've got the woke culture going on. We've got our politicians wasting money left, right and centre, our hard-earned money. So then I think about the culture of the UK and I'm thinking, well, what am I missing? What is this woman talking about? She couldn't enjoy the culture of Dubai, because my experience of Dubai is it's a country ran by a leader who actually has a brain on him, who knows exactly what is needed to drive his country forward. And you go there, you don't pay any tax, the infrastructure is fantastic, the living conditions are great, it's clean everywhere, it's safe. Let's not talk about the fact that if I wanted to go down to London and wear this watch, even in England, if I wanted to wear this in London, I wouldn't even last 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? 15 to 20 minutes, I'd be probably stabbed or someone would chop my arm off for my watch. You can't wear anything nice. You can't have a nice car because it gets stolen. This is the culture that we've got in the UK. And then you look at, from me, as a position in where I am right now, where I feel like I've got a good future ahead of me, and I want to position myself in a country that aids that and doesn't hold me back, because that's how I feel here in the UK. I feel like the country is holding me back. I want to move and be situated in an environment and a society that aids people who actually want to try hard. And that's what Dubai is. If you work hard in Dubai, you are rewarded for it. You're not taxed heavily like we are here in the UK. At some point there is a tax level, of course, a smaller amount, but it's not instant, it's not huge amounts of tax, and you've not got a society which is holding you back at all times. The society in the UK that rewards people who are lazy. It rewards people who want to sit around and scrounge on benefits and do nothing all day. Whereas the society in the Middle East right now, in the UAE, is rewarding people who want to work hard, who are prosperous, who want to start businesses. And that's where I want to situate myself. On top of that, you've got fantastic weather. You've got amazing weather every single day pretty much. Why would I want to wake up to this just depressing, cold, rainy weather every single day? I've lived abroad before in my life. I lived in Italy for 3 years. I lived in New Zealand for a year, and I lived in Thailand for a year. So I know what it's like to live outside the UK. I know it's not that much of a bigger jump. It's not that much of a difficult choice or decision to make, because I've done it before. So for me, moving to Dubai, it's not a huge jump. I can understand why some people would think that, but in all honesty, it's really not. Once you've gained the courage to actually make the jump, you'll see that it's actually very easy to settle in and make friends, because everybody's in the same position. So all I can say to you guys, if you're watching this, if you are considering moving away, if you're hardworking, you've got a brain on you, you want to be situated in a society that actually rewards you for working hard, you want to mix with people on the same mission, the same goals, the same wavelength, then you need to make that jump from your environment, because here in the UK, I can tell you, you're not going to find that. Okay, I've been here, I can see what's going on. For me personally, I can't see this great culture that everybody keeps talking about, because that culture's gone maybe 20, 30 years ago. But the essence of being English, the great British essence is gone from what I can see, because everybody's just fed up with it now, and there's no one here who's going to stand up and actually fight back. So for me personally, until that's sorted out, you may as well go to where the world is actually prosperous and actually moving ahead, and that for me is the UAE. And it's a good central location globally. You can access Asia, you can access Europe, you can access Africa, you can access America, from everywhere pretty much. It's one of the well, if not the biggest global travel hub in the world. So for me, it just makes sense, and I'm really looking forward to actually starting to get to work out there. So last year, I all made the move to Thailand, and that was an amazing 6 months. I had a really good time, but for me personally, I just didn't resonate with the business aspect of Thailand. It's quite difficult to do business in Thailand. They're very strict, property investments, etc., etc. It's a little bit further away, it's a 13-hour flight, so it's not as easy just to get back and see your family. It's not as easy to come back to Europe. So it was a little bit difficult for me to settle in long-term into Thailand. But I think for me, I'll always be visiting Thailand, maybe 1 or 2 months per year. But as I move forward, I see Dubai being my base. I want to get a villa out there. I want to invest in Dubai, and it's a lot easier over there. So anyway, let me know your thoughts, if you've been thinking about this subject. Let me know what your thoughts are on the UK situation right now. How does someone actually fix it? Because, like I said in one of my previous videos, the only way to fix this problem is to have a dictatorship, or to have somebody take over and completely reset the system. Because the 2 or 3 political parties, they're absolutely one of lesser evil. They're useless. Conservatives are useless, Labour even more useless. It's never going to get fixed. You need someone to go in and just with one fell swoop completely reset everything. And until that happens, I just can't see any of these problems being fixed. So yeah, well, anyway, it's a bit of a different video, guys. This is just me. I thought I'd give you a bit more of my personal opinion on things. I can't always do educational content. I do have a lot to say. I've got a lot of opinions. I did get voted most opinionated in school, so I've got a lot of opinions. So if you enjoyed these kind of videos, maybe I'll talk a bit more about other subjects. If not, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Thanks for watching.